I'm going to change out the decals on my ENVE M5 Pro wheels. So they look great, all good, but I got white ones with a little bit of blue highlight that I think is going to match the white on the bike a little better than the silver that comes on here. So I'll swap it out. I did the same process on my road wheels and overall no complaints. The one thing is that on the original stickers, these are all individual pieces. So I get that leaves some little tiny small pieces, but those were all put on originally within like a backing thing that would have been peeled off. And the new ones are not like that. They're just a one piece. And so I don't think they look quite as good. Where like my road wheels, these still were all individual pieces. And I don't know if the concern is that they didn't want to have to make the consumer do these little tiny pieces and make sure everything got right, or if they didn't want to have to make the consumer try to work around the spokes. But these are from Slick Graphics. They do a good job. Everything's high quality. But, you know, at the time I ordered them, I didn't know it'd be quite like this. I would prefer them to be individual pieces, even if it means a little bit more work. But we'll see how it all looks when I'm done. These peel really easily. So, yeah, you lift them with a thumbnail just to get them started and they'll come right up. So you can just kind of pick them with a nail just a little bit, and then, well, you know, I'm trying to do it one-handed, it's not working as easy, but it isn't really a problem getting these off. They peel pretty well and stay intact. So I should have put the camera on a tripod, but I was in a hurry. But yeah, they peel pretty easily. So that part's not an issue. Once they're off, you clean them all with alcohol. It is easier if you remove just one half at a time. So do this side, but leave this side in place. Then it gives you marks for easily lining up the next ones. They have little cutouts for the spoke holes for this particular wheel model. My road wheels, it didn't work that way. So by leaving the other side, it's easier to line them up and make sure you got them in the right spot. But so you peel them off, and then you clean this all with an alcohol swab. Then we'll stick the new ones on. All right, got the front wheel done. So it's hard to tell in here, not great lighting, but now all white, which should match the Epic 8 stuff better. The Slick Graphics stuff, you know, even the replacements, they still include all the same warnings, all the same labels. They're made to look pretty much identical to as if you got them from the factory. They do a really great job with the quality. They include a few extras, so you can mess one up. I haven't had any trouble. They basically just lay right on, easy to push a bubble out, no issues at all. All right, got it done. So, you know, no major change, but I do think the white stands out a little better, matches the white logos here, and the little blue highlights here match the blue on the fork, and everything looks a little better. I filmed the first video saying that I was starting everything at about 6:48 p.m. and I was bolting the rear wheel back on at about 6:35. So 45-ish minutes to fully peel the old decals, clean with alcohol, put the new decals on. If you order from Slick Graphics, which I'd recommend, they do stuff for ENVE. They're the OEM supplier for ENVE, but they also, you can get stuff for just about anything made by them. And their website's super easy. It's easy to customize. There's thousands of colors to choose from. I don't get paid for this. I've paid for this myself. It includes an alcohol swab. It ends up dried out before you're done, so I used one other that I had them laying around. If everything goes well, you'll have 4 extras because they put 2 extras on each sheet, and so you got extras if you mess something up or if you tear one later. You'll have 2 extra valve hole covers, is they put 2 on each of the sheets that they print. So you get plenty of spares. Quality seems just as good as the OEM. You know, like pointed out earlier, they're a little different because they're not just like the individual little pieces. These are just a one-piece decal with no backer plate. You just stick them on, and worked well, no issues. I'm not sure if they look quite as good as if it's just the individual pieces, you know, so then the carbon shows through in these spots. But it's definitely easier to install like this and makes it easier. That's about it. You know, I think they're like $45 plus shipping or something like that for the mountain bike size ones. I think my road bike ones were 60-ish plus shipping. They are made in Sweden, but they ship quick and, you know, just show up in my mailbox. So no issues there. I've done a couple sets of ENVE wheels now, no issues. You know, you make them look the way you want them to look and customize things. The garage is kind of a mess. My son bought a new cross bike. Maybe we could talk about that later. He practically stole it. So things look good. That's the bike. Happy with how things turned out. Didn't take long, no problems. All done. Slight postscript. I know I said the website's super easy to use, and I swear it is, but I did accidentally order the wrong ones first. So if somebody needs decals for the prior generation M525, I don't know, those came out like 2018-ish, somewhere in there. I do have a set of white with a little blue highlight M525 decals, new in the package. We could work out a deal.